I heard you were back.
I'm going to Mandalore.
May the Force be with you!
You ready for an adventure? A Mandalorian has to know their way around. That way, you'll never be lost.
The Mandalorian, Season 3, March 1st, only on Disney+.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is The Way. They dropped a brand new Mandalorian Season 3 trailer. There's a bunch of new footage, so we'll break it down. I will be doing videos for all the episodes, just like I did for Season 1, Season 2. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. I'll also do a special giveaway in those episode videos, too. We're entering this zone where it's going to cross over with The Last of Us, so we're like in Pedro Pascal into the Pascal-verse right now. And on that show, he's protecting Ellie in a very Grogu Mando-like situation, like a dad-like figure adopting someone, so to speak, and trying to protect them. But just starting with the brand new footage, at the beginning of the trailer, it starts with a voiceover from Greef Karga, who's the new administrator on Navarro, like he's taken over the administration of the town, which is the job that the client had in Season 1. They only ever called him the client, they never really gave him a name. He was just meant to be the Imperial officer that was left on the planet serving as administrator. It's such a remote planet in the Outer Rim that usually in situations like that, the Empire, or the remnants of the Empire, as they're trying to come back now through Grand Admiral Thrawn and Moff Gideon, they would only keep skeleton crews on planets like that, and usually they would give officers jobs like that as a form of punishment, like we're gonna banish you, kind of, by putting you in this backwater planet in the middle of nowhere. But the real secret is they were keeping their Imperial cloning facility there that Dr. Pershing was using. His whole thing was conducting experiments in cloning Force-sensitive beings. Dr. Pershing, as you can see, features prominently in all the new Mandalorian Season 3 trailers, so we know they're going to finally be picking back up with that Grogu cloning storyline. It seemed like a really big deal, but we only got a little bit of it during Season 2. I think the whole Grogu cloning storyline is part of their Heir to the Empire Thrawn trilogy story that they're trying to adapt for The Mandalorian and all the connected spin-offs like the Ahsoka series, now the Skeleton Crew series. Like they're doing a version of the Heir to the Empire in the TV shows set right after the events of Return of the Jedi, because that's basically when it took place in the novels back in the 90s. That was a Legends storyline, but they've already recanonized some of that stuff. Like Dave Filoni brought Thrawn back, they brought some other characters back already, and now it seems like they're bringing a bunch of story elements from that into present day as well, just swapping some of the characters. But during that original Thrawn book storyline, Thrawn found the clone of a Jedi Master and tried to use his Force abilities to make his fleet better fighters. He would have the Jedi Master enhance the fleet's senses, their connectedness through the Force, so that they'd be a more cohesive fighting force. Thrawn had believed that the Empire used to be so effective because the Emperor, at least according to his beliefs, would do that to his fleet. So like the Emperor himself would basically give the entire fleet a jolt of coffee to the brain using the dark side of the Force. Eventually, Luke Skywalker and the others found one of the Emperor's hidden mountain fortresses where he kept Jedi and Sith artifacts and other ultra-powerful rare super weapons, just things that he wanted to keep hidden, and he had secret bases like that all over the galaxy. Inside the one that Luke and the others go to, they learned the Emperor had recovered Luke's severed hand that Darth Vader cut off during their fight in Empire Strikes Back. Thrawn and the remnants of the Empire that he's trying to resurrect, like the story is called Heir to the Empire, and Thrawn is meant to be the heir to the Empire. They wind up using the hand to clone Luke Skywalker, so you have a Luke Skywalker versus his clone situation, and also then fighting the clone Jedi Master, who winds up going mad. Cloning Force-sensitive beings, not a smart thing to do. A lot of Jedi cloning going on during that series. They also kind of use that twist in The Rise of Skywalker to bring back the Emperor, but the twist, I think, was more inspired by the Dark Empire comic book series, where the Emperor did the exact same thing, like literally it's the exact same story. He would periodically transfer his consciousness to younger clones of himself when his older bodies wore out, or if he was killed, or thrown down giant elevator shafts. On The Mandalorian, it seems like Dr. Pershing came out of the remnants of the Kamino cloning facility in the prequels, like he's wearing their symbol on his uniform. The Emperor claimed he shut it down after Revenge of the Sith, but secretly he just had them continue their research. It's just that he didn't want anyone else in the galaxy trying to create their own clone army that could challenge the Empire. Now it seems like they might have TV show Grand Admiral Thrawn, who we haven't seen yet, but we know he exists because they mentioned him during Season 2, in Moff Gideon trying to create Force-sensitive troopers to make them stronger, like Force-sensitive clones that they can 3D print. Imagine printing yourself a Jedi army that you could control, because that's the whole twist of Order 66, is they have controls built into them, so they're kind of like finger puppets to the Emperor, basically. It essentially makes the remnants of the Empire unstoppable. But as of the beginning of Season 3, Ahsoka is still looking for Thrawn, and they've revealed that he and Ezra Bridger with him have found a way back from the unknown regions where the space whales hyperspace jumped them during the events of Rebels right before A New Hope. That whole twist is meant to explain why Grand Admiral Thrawn wasn't around for the events of the original trilogy. They were stuck in the unknown regions mapping a way out because the part that they jumped to wasn't one of the mapped regions. The Emperor did have secret star charts of some of the unknown regions, but there's still vast parts of the galaxy that are completely unmapped by anyone. So if you wind up in one of those places, you can't use your hyperspace navicomputer to plot a way out. You have to take the slow way, basically. You notice Greef Karga has a 3PO protocol droid serving him. It generally seems like he's cleaned the town up. Like the town square here looks almost like a completely different place, even though it's meant to be on the same planet from Season 1 and Season 2. It seems like the Mandalorian tells him his plans for going to the planet Mandalore to regain his honor and become a true Mandalorian according to their customs, or at least according to the hardcore customs of the sect of the Armorer that he comes from. The Armorer and their group are basically meant to be the remnants of the Death Watch Mandalorians from the Clone Wars. They were featured pretty heavily, and there's a big Jon Favreau Easter egg linked to that. We saw a flashback of their group during the Clone Wars when they were more active when he was rescued as a child. This is the symbol of the Death Watch Mandalorians. So Jon Favreau played the leader of that group during the Clone Wars. His name was Pre Vizsla. They actually created the Darksaber for his debut on the series. It was the first appearance of the Darksaber. Canonically, they said that it was created by his ancestor, one of the only Mandalorians to become a Jedi, Tar Vizsla, over 1,000 years ago. During the present day of the show, the heavy infantryman, who's also voiced by Jon Favreau, is the descendant of both of them. His name is Paz Vizsla. I don't know if he's meant to be the son of Pre Vizsla or like a nephew. It just seems like he's part of his family. For a very brief period, Bo-Katan was also part of Death Watch, serving Pre Vizsla, but she eventually left and formed the Night Owls. That's one of the reasons why she was so put off when she learned where Mando came from. Like, oh, you're one of those, one of the crazy Mandalorians. You remember that the Armorer spoke very poorly of Bo-Katan too, and the events of what happened with the Darksaber during Rebels and the fall of their people. So it sounds like the Armorer and Bo-Katan really hate each other. I really hope that they give them a chance on the show to have a knockdown drag-out fight. During the scene of all their characters running around, getting into this big fight, there's a symbol on a banner here outside the cave of their covert. These scenes of Mando and Grogu talking to the Armorer also probably inside that same cave. The rocky planet here just seems like the planet that the Armorer took their covert to. You see a bunch more of the Mandalorians that have joined their covert and a bunch of Mandalorian children, like they're all wearing armor, little tiny armor. For those of you that want to see Grogu wearing a full set of Mandalorian armor someday, he does have the Beskar chainmail that Mando gave him. We'll probably see him wearing that at some point during the season because he literally chose the Beskar over Yoda's spare lightsaber. Lone Wolf and Cub style, you must choose one path. Grogu force pushes the alien monster. Jon Favreau also said that they would continue to reference his Jedi training with Luke Skywalker, and he'd be using the Force more. I don't know that we're going to see Luke Skywalker cameo again, but they will be referencing his time with Luke Skywalker. His whole arc with Luke was basically unlocking what Force abilities he'd already developed and then just kind of hidden and suppressed within himself, and just remembering a lot of his learning at the Jedi Temple on Coruscant before Order 66. He's still got that hot-rodded Naboo starfighter from the prequels. I don't know if he'll get another new ship in future seasons, but my assumption is they will give him some new ships eventually. This celebration seems like it's still happening on Tatooine as he's leaving Peli Motto. And it also reminds me of the ending of the special editions, because at the end of the special edition of Return of the Jedi, George Lucas beefed up all the celebrations on the different planets with fireworks. More flashbacks of Grogu to Order 66 with someone cutting their way through the door, the other Jedi trying to protect him. I would love for this to be Anakin Skywalker and for them to just continue Anakin's push through the Jedi Temple, killing all the Jedi and the younglings. The stunt coordinator on Revenge of the Sith, Nick Gillard, said that they actually filmed a bunch more Anakin Skywalker Order 66 scenes of him just ripping through all the Jedi, but George Lucas thought that it was too violent for the movie because it was meant to be a PG-13 movie. And the stuff they had Anakin doing would have made the movie a hard R. It sounds badass, like I would have loved to actually seen that. Then we see the group of blue Mandalorians. This could be the Armorer's group because in the other trailers there were scenes of the Armorer fighting in a scene like this. This is Bo-Katan in the underground caves of what seemed like the planet Mandalore with Grogu and Mando. You notice in this scene of him talking to Peli Motto, her R5 droid is literally bursting at the seams with parts falling off. That's another reference to A New Hope where R5 started breaking as he was wheeling away, allowing R2-D2 to slide his way in and continue his mission to find Obi-Wan Kenobi. When he says a Mandalorian has to know their way around, we see Dr. Pershing in a rundown facility. There's a bunch of scenes of him on Coruscant as well, so during Season 3, we will go to Coruscant. It seems like he's doing something really shady, just trying to access more data and information on his cloning projects. I don't know which planet this is on, but these TIE interceptors are chasing Bo-Katan Kryze in her Mandalorian starfighter. If you don't remember, this is her ship. We saw it briefly during Season 2. Katie Sackhoff also said there was a bunch more Bo-Katan this season. She'd get a bunch more action. This is also taken from another scene of the two of them with Grogu. This is also probably on the Mandalore planet as they explore the caves. There might be a small cameo scene during the series to set up the Ahsoka series because that's taking place right after the Mandalorian Season 3 in a couple months. Maybe also Sabine Wren, maybe also a reference to Grand Admiral Thrawn, like we might get a teaser for him at the end of the season. But I think they're saving most of the Grand Admiral Thrawn scenes on screen for the Ahsoka series, just because that's such a big part of her mission right now in this part of the timeline, in addition to finding Ezra Bridger. They also might save Ezra Bridger debuting to the Ahsoka series, but he's being played by this actor, so they've already cast him, like they've already filmed the series a long time ago. Jude Law's Skeleton Crew series is also meant to be a spin-off of The Mandalorian, but it'll be taking place in a different part of the galaxy, and those characters will not cameo during The Mandalorian Season 3. We'll see them for the first time in Skeleton Crew Episode 1 at the end of this year. All my Mandalorian episode videos will start posting March 1st after it comes out, so make sure you enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss any of that. Let me know if you have any requests for Mandalorian bonus videos too. Links for all my other Pedro Pascal Last of Us episodes down in the description below too. Everyone click here for my brand new Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania review video, and click here for my Flash trailer video from the Super Bowl with a whole bunch of Easter eggs and a whole bunch of Batman. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe. This is The Way.